Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Community Conversation here on Facebook Live. Tonight, I would like to share an affirmation with you. Good evening, self. Here's a hug from me to me. I love me today. I am here for a purpose. I will love today. Yesterday's scars and bruises will no longer serve as a reminder of the trauma I have endured because today is a new day. I am growing. I am getting stronger. I am ready to stand, to serve, to be loved. I am ready to fly. Today is an awesome day because I am awesome. You are awesome. I am a conqueror. You are a conqueror. I am a victor. You are a victor. I am a success. You are a success. I will attract money, resourceful people. I thrive, not just survive. I create wealth. I manifest wealth. I live in wealth. Today, I salute me, for progression is at hand. This particular self discovery affirmation is one that I wrote when I was working in the District of Columbia. And this has stayed with me for the last 7 years. So tonight, I am super excited to have Hot Sauce. And Hot Sauce, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. So tonight, what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about um, peaceful moments, having peaceful moments of peace. Talking
Wow.
about having moments of peace. It brings in mind of that song, Peace in the Midst of the Storm." Reminds me of the song. It's an older song, older hymn, but then it also reminds me of Yolanda Adams' first hit that she had in 89, I think in 1989, 1990, I believe, while riding through the storm. And
I love that song.
yep, that was her. I think that was her first hit by riding through the storm. That's how we got introduced to her to the world while riding through the storm. And she was just coming through some big storms in her life. And I wrote
Yes.
that song. And from there, her trajectory, just because I guess that song was number one on the charts for a
Yes.
long time. I remember, and everybody was saying, "Who is that?" All right, singing that
So
song, and
true.
so and having peace in the midst of a storm. And of course, we've had our big snowstorm, and now we're out
Yes,
for a
we
fourth
have.
day tomorrow. As educated in Prince
Fourth
George County,
day.
we're out for day, a fourth day.
Mm.
So we've had to try to navigate and exist and live life in spite of the
Yes.
snowstorm.
True.
And and we have to still live in the midst of a storm. I mean, we can't let the rain kill us. We can't let the lightning kill us.
Mm-mm.
Even the
Not at
fire
all.
that's going on in LA and in California, we praying for them and praying for those folks. And of course, I got my relatives out there, my brother and my mother out there right now. So um,
Yes.
praying and claiming that their company healing and resources for them and resources for them, but they still have to go on. You have to find a way to go on in the midst of
True.
storm, in the midst of tragedies. You still have to
Yes.
find a way, because what doesn't kill you will make you stronger on the other side,
Amen.
on the other side of the storm. But while you're in the storm, how
Yes.
do you find peace in the midst of the storm? How do you find peace? And to me, um, I think an analogy of a tornado. Finding peace in the midst of a storm is how an eagle finds peace in the midst of a tornado. Eagles fly based on wind currents. That's why before they actually launch out, they'll sit, they'll sit and it looks like they're listening for something. And what they're actually listening for and feeling
Oh,
for is the right
indicators.
current to stretch their wings out
Mm-hmm.
on, and then they soar. They don't flap like birds and like pigeons. They just soar on the wind. So what happens during a storm, an eagle does a different interesting thing during a storm. When a tornado comes up, the eagle doesn't fly away from the tornado. The eagle flies toward the
Mm-hmm.
tornado. As a matter of fact, the eagle flies onto the inside of the tornado, looking for the eye of the storm, which is the center. It goes into the eye of the tornado, which is the most peaceful part and calm part of a tornado. Tornado whips around in a circle, whips around in a circle. So what happens is if you fly down on the inside of it, which scientists
Yes.
sometimes will put a camera inside, that is the calm, most peaceful part of the tornado, the eye or the center of the tornado. They'll fly inside the tornado, stretch their wings out, and they'll just use the storm and ride out the storm. And that's the safest part of the tornado is on the inside in
Wow.
the eye of the storm, which is crazy to think that a tornado has a safe zone. A tornado actually has a peace and a safe zone, has a zone where
Mm-hmm.
you could go inside of it and be safe and be at, and it's the safe, calmest, quietest, most peaceful part in the midst of the storm. Well, that's where we have to find our peace. When a storm comes up in our life, we have to find our peace.
Yes.
And one of the
Yes.
best ways to find our peace is to look for the Prince of Peace. And the Prince of Peace is one of the names of Jesus. Finding God and to just look for where God is. God, wherever you at, I know you somewhere in this storm. And I know that even what I've had to deal with personally over the last
Mm-hmm.
couple of weeks, I've had to find him because now outside of it, the incident about a storm, outside of the storm, if you try to, instead of going into the center, if you try to go
Yes.
into the side of the storm, you will be destroyed. It's chaos. Or the wind is chaotic, but the center of the wind is peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take your eyes off of what's going on
True.
and just look for the peace. And when you find it, you got to stay there
Yeah.
because you got to
Wow.
stay there and ride it out
It's
and ride it out.
amazing. It's amazing that you were talking about the profound, I'm going to say what is profound about the eagle. I had to think for a moment. I don't know if you've ever witnessed the eagle in Bowie, uh, but I was at the park in Bowie and I witnessed an eagle, and I thought that I was seeing things, but Watson witnessed it and few others had witnessed it. And it was just amazing because the eagle is so big um, in stature, right? But as we talk about the eagle and how you said the eagle is inside the tornado, I just want to say that sometimes we have these tornado experiences, right? And the tornado I'm talking about is not so much the physical tornado, but I'm talking about something that's symbolic, that it just seems like life is just presenting us with so many whirlwinds. Life is presenting us with so many challenges. But one of the things we can trust is knowing that God will bring us through. And
Yeah.
I'm quite sure that that eagle knows that I'm going to fly over opposition and land in opportunities. And so
Mm.
tonight, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a positive person in my life and many of the other people I know lives. We are grateful, and we just want to say we're sending out love to you and your family. We know that you have lost seven people, and that's a significant amount of people to lose. 7 funerals. But one thing I could say about you is that you've been activating the joy. You know, the joy of the Lord is your strength. You've been finding ways to encourage yourself. You've been finding ways to stay encouraged and edified. And also you're edifying others even in the midst of you going through. And that's amazing.
Yeah, and the thing about it, yeah, and I thank God for it. I mean, we all have our moments. Grief. I mean, we're human. We have our moments, but but I thank God that that I've been able to hold on, and I appreciate you for being there for me, and for the people that are around you. Because one thing about it, whenever you're in the negative, I call it. Whenever you're in the red, you find out who's really with you. As long as you're in the black, you don't lack people around you. All right. But as soon as you get in that red and you need to lean on some folks, you truly find out who you can lean on. And you're one of those people, and I thank you so much. Um, and it's just coming from it's just the grace of God, the strict grace of God, and power and presence of God, as Bishop Mears used to always say, the power and presence of God to be what God has created you to be and to do what God has created you to do. And I needed His grace to help me to be and help me to do, to empower me to be and empower me to do, because I was out of my own strength. But as He says, His strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, when we say we're weak, we're actually strong. And so it's been His strength that has helped me to do that and helped me to go on. And I didn't know how. I was going to go on. I didn't know how I was going to deal, even just going to the homegoing services, and you know, they were homegoing celebrations. I didn't know how it was going to be. But one thing I can say, out of those deaths, I got something from it that on the other
Yes.
side, I'm a much stronger, much better person. I learned something. I got empowered with each one, and I got empowered with the lives that each one of those deaths meant, of those folks that died. They left something, which I think funerals are for the living, homegoings are for the living. And what you're supposed to do is grab something from that person and live your life, the rest of your life, in the spirit of that person.
That's true.
And I got something from all of them that it's almost like I don't know if I would have gotten that had they not passed. So that passing even brought purpose. Even that passing brought purpose and gave me something where I could truly say I'm a much stronger person than I was
Yes.
before the 7th. I'm a much stronger, and I learned so much. And one of the things I've learned, and even with what we've been doing, even what we've been forced to do these last 4 days of being off,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
learned the power of rest.
Wow.
I've
Blessed
learned the power
rest.
of taking time
Yes.
for yourself. And even with what you read with the affirmation, one thing about it is you got to love yourself before you love anybody else. You've got to
Yes.
believe yourself before you can believe for somebody else. You
That's
can't
true.
nobody in prison can take nobody to the store. Right? You can't.
That's
You
true.
can't give nobody in prison can give you a
True.
ride to the store. All right. So you got to get out before you can take somebody out. So I had to fill up and fill my tank and allow myself to be filled up and
Yes.
allow
That's true.
myself to realize I was empty and not feel guilty or not feel
Yeah.
guilty about being empty. It's okay to be empty. What's not okay is to stay empty. And this has forced me to think,
Yeah.
to contemplate some things and think of some things and even come up with some ideas to be refreshed and to be restored. And
Yes.
through those things. So I guess that's what the word says. God calls all things to work for good. That those
Yes.
for those
Yes.
that are called according to all things work together for good.
Amen.
For
Amen.
those that are called according to His purpose.
Yes. I always say the good is good, the bad is good. All things are working out for my good. You know, again, referencing Romans 8:28. But I had my little niece to say to me, Stephanie, that's not the scripture. I said, look, I'm telling you that I have taken the scripture, all things work together for the good of them that love God, who are called according to His purpose. But I said, for me, in the natural, I just have come up with that saying to the good is good, the good, I mean, the bad is good, all things are working out for my good. So I shared with her that it's all in the mind, you know, the
Right.
mindset. You got to work on your mindset, right? Because
Yeah.
sometimes life will present challenges to you, and there may be adverse conditions or adverse situations that you may face. But if you can look at it and say, you know what, I'm going to come through, I'm going to beat this. The deeds of life will not deter my destiny. Death, divorce, delay, disappointment, detours. So, but I want to tell you that I'm so grateful that we had this moment of rest. I know that last week when I asked God, I said, God, I said, I just wish I could just get another day or just a couple days. But I didn't know it was going to come in the form of the storm, the snowstorm. And so you just don't know how your blessings are going to come.
Yeah.
So we almost had 3 weeks. And I said it had to been God to tell me to go back, right? Go back into the workforce. I still do your business as a consultant, as a trainer, as a chaplain, but go back because the babies need you, but also your son needs you. And so I didn't understand the dynamics of everything, but revelation came to me this week as a result of me being off. Because, like you said, it's a blessing in that quietness, it's a
Mhm.
blessing in that rest. So, I'm just grateful that we are able to talk tonight to encourage each other, but most importantly, encourage others. We are
Mhm.
helpers to one another.
Yeah. Exactly.
Iron sharpens iron. If I could share this with you, I had an amazing spiritual bath today. In fact, I just could not get out the house today. I thought I was going to be able to get out and not so much play in the snow, but at least get out, get a little walk in, or just go for a little ride or drive. That didn't happen. Why? Because I used a little bit of lavender in my bath. And for me, I would say lavender relaxes me.
Yeah.
So it calms my spirit to the point that I'm like a zombie. Like I'm just so relaxed. So I hadn't been able to do as much as I wanted to do today. But God knew I needed to have that rest. And the
Yeah.
question I want to pose to others, when was the last time you had a good rest? When was the last time you just took a moment and just said, I'm just going to meditate?
Yeah.
When was the last time you just did something special for yourself?
Yeah.
So, as we talk about moments of peace, right, we need to think about how we need to have many moments of peace throughout the day. There's so much tragedy, calamities, as we have heard you talk about it earlier about California. So we have to find ways to celebrate. We have to find ways to de stress. We have to
Mhm.
find ways to encourage ourselves. We just
Mhm.
have to find ways, period.
Yeah. We just gotta find it. And finding it starts with a mindset to be open to look for it. All right, to
Yes.
even look for it and to receive it. And because then you have to, because you won't have a mindset to receive it when it comes, because it'll
Yes.
fly right over your
Yes.
head. So it's
Oh,
good to have a
yes.
mind to work, but you also have to have a mind to rest. And even when I think about fitness and wellness, what I tell people most of the time when I have when I get a new client and a
Yes.
client and I'm structuring an exercise program for them, and I get a client that has been exercising on their own and has been trying on their own and now is hiring me to help them to get results because they may be stagnant or for whatever reason, stagnant in the results or stagnant in anything happening.
Yes.
Most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, maybe even a little higher, 98% of the time, the first thing or the one of the things that I have to do is I have to incorporate more rest days. They don't
Yes.
have enough rest days to balance out with their workouts.
Hmm.
And usually that blows them away because they're thinking, well, if you're cutting my workouts out, then I know I'm not going to get the results because I'm doing all this now and nothing's happening. How is giving me 1 or 2 more days of rest going to help me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I let them know that your body makes the changes that you want to make on your rest day. When you're working out, you're tearing down, you're stripping down. Now, if you strip down, you need to build back up. You can't build up on the tear down day. You can only build
Yes.
up on the rest day. Now, if you have 7 days in a week and you're working out 6 and resting 1, that's not enough days to recuperate. So what your body will do is 1 or 2 things. Your body will either stay where you are to save your life, or your body
Yep.
will actually regress because you're tearing it down so much that it can't build back up. And when you move it
Mm-hmm.
to that zone, that's when you actually will compromise your immune system, and you'll begin to catch everything that's under the sun, every
Oh
flu,
my
every cold, and
goodness.
all. So now you not only are making yourself sicker, but also what your body will do, your body will shut down, and your body will begin to begin to inject fat into your fat cells to protect you. So actually, you working out, making yourself big,
Wow.
making
What a
yourself fat, all
revelation.
because you're not resting. You're not resting. So rest is just important as the workout. Professional athletes, the NFL players, there's no practice on Monday. It is against contract to have practice on Monday. The reason why is that's the rest day. And if you violate the rest day, if you violate the scheduled in rest day of practice, the
Mm-hmm.
scheduled in no workout day or no practice day, when you violate that, the league or the team fines you. So it will
Wow.
cost you. Why? Because not having that rest will cost you your performance in the game. Not having that resting yourself will cost you your performance in life, in your occupation, in your vocation. So don't let the devil fool you into thinking that resting is goofing off. It is not goofing off. It is necessary for you to perform even better
Mm-hmm.
and perform even better. And so when the rest day comes, when you have the mindset of rest, receive it. Receive it. Don't feel guilty.
Yes.
Don't let nobody make you feel guilty. I find that most of the time, the people, the people that make you feel guilty about resting, most of the time they're the ones that's resting too much themselves, and
It's
they actually
ironic you would
jealous of your rest.
it's ironic you would mention about the power of rest. My big sister calls me every day and she says to me, Stephanie, make sure you get your rest. And I said, did mommy give her that assignment? Because that was one of the things mommy would always say to me, get your rest, get your rest. It's to the place that now little Kevin, mommy, did you get your rest? Or mommy, go lie down. Like he put me to sleep to take a nap. So now I got, not only I have Kevin, I have my big sister making sure that I get some rest.
Hmm.
But rest is good for you. But one of the things I want to say is that I have been finding myself waking up 3 in the morning, and I started researching the power of waking up 3 in the morning. So I would say that it's pretty profound that I've been waking up 3 in the morning because a lot of creativity is heightened for me during that
Yeah.
time. So I do a lot of praying, meditation, and then I find myself doing a lot of writing during that time. And then God will have me to go back to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what I wanted to ask you, what words of encouragement would you give to the creative minds that wake up different times, but know that we have to still get that 8 hours in?
Well, most of the time, I believe when you wake up early in the morning like that, I know that I found that that's really God tapping you on your shoulder. And I've had things and thoughts come to me, and what I usually do, what I do is I write it down. There was some case I need to get back to this where I actually would have a pen and a pad beside my bed, and what happened was whatever is on my mind, I write it down because I've had times where I've told myself, Well, that's a great thing. I'm gonna write it down when I wake up. When I go back to sleep, I wake up and I wake up and I cannot remember to say. And I know that that was God trying to. And I have to say, Lord, Holy Spirit, help me bring back the
Yes.
remembrance what you said to me. So I've just written it down, and I find in those hours that God wanted to tell you something. So I would say one,
Yes.
to write it down and receive it and write it down, receive that point. And two, if you don't know what to write down, um, um, just ask God to show you. Lord, what do I need to do right now? What do I need to do right now? Because I mean, God doesn't want us ignorant. God doesn't want us to
No,
lack wisdom, and He's
not
right
at
there.
all.
He knows how to answer you, how to impress upon you what to what what to write down, what to write down. And I've also found, as I'm sure that you have found, that even after that period, when I go back to sleep and I do wake up, I'm so refreshed.
Yes.
I don't feel tired because I woke up like that. I feel
That's
refreshed. I
true.
feel restored. I feel energized when I wake up
Wow.
like that. And so I would say just receive it, receive that, and just be ready to
Yes.
write. Be ready. And I've also found that if I when I keep a pen and or keep a pen or something to write with, and keep a pen, a pad beside bed, I find that when I'm prepared to write, God gives me a whole lot more. I get so much. And I'm writing and writing and writing. And then I go back to sleep. And then when I go back and read it, I'm like, wow, I got all of that. But but I've gotten more when I'm prepared to write than if I'm not prepared to write. Because I think God will only give you what you can handle. And He know if I got this book and I got this pen and I got all these pages, I'm prepared to write down a lot. Or if you can't write down,
Yes.
just now with technology, we got what, the voice we can record. You do
Yes.
the notes recorder where you can just talk into the phone and your phone or the trans. I know I'm not getting the technology right because I'm not really good
Well,
with
no,
technical
you're
terms.
right. You're
But I
right.
can just talk what's on my mind. I can just say it and talk, and it can record it, and then I can translate later. Now, I don't know how to really do it. The phone, if you press a certain button or something, it'll translate your thoughts and put your sentences together and all that. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I guess I need
Wait
to
a
get
minute.
that
You can
far.
even get AI to assist you.
Yeah,
So it's just amazing that we're talking about peace and we're talking about rest, right? Because we need that. We need that
yeah,
peace. We need that rest. We used to always talk about we're not gonna give away any of our pieces of peace. And that's
right.
something to think about, because there's so many ways or so many things that could rob us from our peace. All it takes a challenge, all it takes a disagreement, so many different things, the external, but we have to strengthen ourselves, especially the internal, and ask God for that blessed peace within. So, I know that you have a few announcements that you want to share. What are those announcements that you want to share? I know you were saying that there were families in need in Virginia.
Yeah, I was just a link out. We got water going on in a water shortage and water challenges going on in Richmond, where they're having to boil their water and things like that. And we have some students that were in need at Virginia Union University, where I'm alumni, where I attended college. And students that are in need, we're taking up donations for that. I don't know the link, but of course, I know if you go to vu.edu, you'll be able to find our link to make donations to help the students in need and to help out in general. And not just Virginia Union, but Virginia State that's down there in that Richmond area, Petersburg, Richmond area. Everybody's affected by this situation, VCU. So be mindful, go to those links to see if you could donate and help out the students in need. You all have been in student, we know how I was when we were undergrad and we was in undergrad. It's different for students. You're struggling
True,
trying to graduate and
true.
trying to eat. And one thing they say, when you're dealing with college students, if you want to get their attention, all you got to do is get a couple of large pizzas and set it up, and you'll have a crowd.
Wow.
because students are always hungry. So,
You
so
know,
that challenge, and then of course, announce. I know it's Founders Day Eve. That's why I got on this blue and white, uh, this blue jacket because my fraternity's Founders Day is tomorrow. Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, founded at Howard University, but it's also Founders Month. Yeah,
mhm,
Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta, our sisters, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated is next Thursday. Our sisters, Alpha Phi, Alpha, they were in December, but
mhm.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, their Founders Day is this month. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, their Founders Day. So
You know
call it
all the
Founders
Founders
Month
Day.
in January. We call it Founders Month because of all of the fraternities and sororities that were founded in this month. So there'll be a lot of
Oh,
celebrations going on. The reason why I say that is Black fraternities and sororities were the professional voice for Black people, have always been the professional voice, always been the voice that have been service for Black people because we were the voice that had to speak for our people, especially during civil rights and all that. You could tie roots of all the members of all the organizations that have had an impact on our growth and representation of
wow.
our people. You wouldn't have the Black Panther Party if you want it weren't for the founder Stokely Carmichael, who actually has changed their Muslim name, who's a member of Phi Beta
Mhm.
Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Reverend Al Sharp was a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Our Vice President Kamala Harris, is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. All right. And singers, the entertainers, sinners, Shaka Khan, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Esther Rowe played Florida and on Good Times, and Jen A. Du Bois who played Winona, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, with Minnie Riperton. I could go on and on.
We see.
Different comedians, yeah,
Yeah.
comedians that were also and not just in my organization, but in all organizations. So it's a time to celebrate Greek organizations and the leadership and find out the history, dive in, find out who was in the organizations and see where we had a voice. Because at this day and this time, we need to mobilize all of our organizations, mobilize all of our institutions, all of our HBCs, all of our organizations to help fight for our people. Because I always believe ain't nobody gonna come get us but us.
You know, it's ironic you mentioned about all the different organizations, Greek organizations. I never had the opportunity to join any sororities. In fact, I came so close to attending one HBCU, and unfortunately, our pastor had to give his input on why I should not attend. And of course, after he talked to my mother and my mother talked to me, I chose not to go. I was going to attend University of Maryland Eastern Shore,
Oh, you're gonna be a
so
hawk. Okay.
I didn't get a chance to do that. So
Oh,
I ended up attending Stevenson University, a
okay.
private college. I caught 3 buses to get there, and then if I missed the bus, I would sometimes contemplate, should I take somebody's horse, but I didn't want to be reported, or be on news. So that was interesting. And then University of Baltimore. But as I think about it, I said, well, for my PhD program, I may just do a HBCU university
Yeah, and
school.
it's not too late because we have grad chapters of fraternities and sororities, so it's never too late. It's just like we have
Hmm.
Easter Star and the Masons. I mean, it's never too late. Oh yeah, you can join grad chapter. You don't have to go undergrad. And many people have joined undergrad chapters. Maryland Eastern Shore is a dynamite university. They're the Hawks over there. Actually, our principal there at the high school where I teach at, she's an alumni of Maryland
Yes.
Eastern Shore. And yeah, so
Well, let me just interject, if I can, since we're talking about entities and we're talking about fraternities and sororities. I want to encourage all of our listeners and viewers to consider Global International Alliance University.
okay.
If you are a humanitarian, you are one who empowers, one who disseminates information, one who helps to build your community, you may want to consider obtaining your honorary doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want more information, give me a call or a text to 240 659 4299. 240 659 4299. We have many informational sessions, and I just want the information get out there. You know, so many educators, doctors, community workers, leaders, they are deserving of this honorary doctorate. So I would like to
Yeah.
disseminate this information, even pastors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want individuals to call. I've gotten some calls today, and everything
All
is
right.
looking good. I just wanted to put that out there.
All right. All right. All right. And that's important. I believe this is a year of great opportunity for us too,
Yes.
and great year to take advantage of. There are going to be so many opportunities in the midst of the opposition, which I mean opposing forces for you to move in positivity. There also will be that many more opportunities to help you move into positivity. Take advantage of those things. Don't look at the opposition. Don't dwell on it. Don't live in the opposing forces. Move toward the opportunities because there are going to be so many. There are going to be so many, and don't ask why. Instead of asking why, ask yourself why not. And if it, you know,
Love it.
and and don't say if, and don't say when, just say then. All right,
Oh, I
instead of when,
like that. That's deep.
then I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna do something else, and then I'm gonna do something else, and then I'm gonna do something else. Take advantage of everything. All right, that you can take advantage of as long as you're 6 feet above ground,
Wow,
because
that's profound.
there's no opportunity when you're 6 feet below ground.
Yes. And you know what? We're going to do a little exercise. I think I'm going to play a little bit of music for us
Okay,
to just do some brainstorming. For
okay,
those who have not set any goals in 2025, now is your time. We talked yesterday about goals. Goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Some goals are short term, some goals are long term. And so, if you have a pen and a pad, I want you to take a moment as we talk about peace. What are some ways in how you're going to increase your peace? I want that to be one of the questions. And then second is, what are some goals that do you have for yourself? What are some goals that you would like to accomplish this year? So let me play a little music. I'm gonna stop. I want to play something different.
okay. I'm gonna borrow real quick. Go get me a pen. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna change the music. That's not it. My son is calling me. Why is he calling me? Wait a minute. Kevin,
School. Yeah, school.
no school.
Actually,
No school, baby.
no, you sound lying.
I'm not lying to you, baby. Stop. Let me call you back. I'm on the air.
Okay, bye.
Love you. Life of a joint custody mother. I miss him too. But I'll see you in a few days. Yeah. So, today we've been talking about peace a little bit. We've been talking about opportunities a little bit. We've been talking about turning the negative into positive, meaning that if you're dealing with adverse conditions or adversity, turn the negative into positive. Now, what happened? What happened to my co-host? All right, now, he was supposed to get the ink pen and paper. I don't know what happened to him. So, what we're going to do is do this activity. This activity we're going to do is we're going to write down ways in how we're going to maximize our peace. Also, we're going to write down some of our goals. Do you have short-term goals you need to achieve? Do you have long-term goals you need to achieve? Look, so now is the time for us to just de-stress. Take a moment to jot down how we're going to increase our peace on a daily basis. And we're going to also share some goals. So now that you're back, right? I had to this with you. And I just want to say to all of you, forgive me for taking that hot bubble bath using lavender because I'm so relaxed. I can't even get hyper if I wanted to be hyper. I'm just so calm, right? Baby boy, Miracle Son called me to ask me if we have school. And I said, yes. He got excited. And he said, really? And I'm like, wait a minute, are you rapping now? Like, really? He's so excited. So it's just amazing that he's excited. We're excited. No? So now that you're back, I'm going to play some other music. And I want you to take a moment, Reg, hot sauce, to write down some of your goals. But before you even write down your goals, think on how some ways that you're going to maximize on your peace. And we might going to end up sharing some of those suggestions.
Okay, I wrote some things down already.
This is my song. But I'm still relaxed. I'm too relaxed. I'm trying to get into it. Hey.
Yeah. I've written down some things already.
Oh, that fast?
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me a moment. I hope you've been writing. How are you going to maximize on your peace? All right, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I just wrote down one thing. I'm going to learn how to be still, talk less, and do more. So, I think that'll help me, right? Because sometimes we find ourselves having to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
We having to express or articulate what we are trying to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes just be still, talk less, do more. Do more for you. What about you, big brother?
All right. Well, I guess got
For
one
your
more.
peace.
I got set the atmosphere.
Ooh, that's deep.
And set the atmosphere. And what that means is that sometimes you may not know what to cut in, but you certainly know what to cut out. So you know what doesn't belong. And sometimes knowing what to cut in, you may have to go through the process of cutting out. And then sometimes if you cut some stuff in, some stuff you cut the right things in, the wrong things have to get out. So setting the
That's
atmosphere
deep.
around me and making sure that I don't have things around me that disturb my peace. And that means that may mean looking at some things that are obvious that I need to shut down to keep it peaceful. But it also might mean, I need to bring this in, bring this in, bring this in, bring this in. And sometimes the
Wow.
peaceful things that I bring in will expose the things that I need to get out because they don't match. I said, well, you know what? This gives me peace, and this right here can't stay in here with this. So I'm gonna hold on to this and get rid of that. And so set the atmosphere also may involve that you may have to cut some things or cut some things back or cut some things loose. And sometimes that can be hard and sometimes that can be easy. But the thing about it is you have to have those peaceful moments because
Yes.
that's how we get our minds and our hearts guarded. As our scripture
Yes.
says, uh, and the peace of God that passes all understanding will guard your hearts and guard your mind. All right. So we need that peace because we need to keep our minds and our hearts guarded. But before that,
Yes.
before those verses, it says, by everything with prayer and supplication and with thanksgiving. So once you ask for the guidance, once you ask to be guided, then you got to receive the guidance. So with me, I'm just gonna set the atmosphere. I'm just gonna set the atmosphere and set the atmosphere and make
Wow.
sure I got a peaceful atmosphere. And
Wow.
for me, that's a task within itself. That's a
It
task
is.
within
It
itself.
is. It is. How significant was this rest for us as educators this week?
I think as educators, some of us were not only tired, but some of us were uninspired. And sometimes when we're tired, we're not really tired, we're uninspired. But
Wow.
uninspired. Because when you're inspired, that's when you're energized. You feel energy from inspiration. And so I think, in order to get to both, you still have to rest to get to both. All right,
That's true.
rest your mind to get your thoughts right. When your body is fatigued, you got to rest so it can go on. So either way, I think we needed this to get ourselves together. To get ourselves together. Leading up to the holidays, we got off leading up into Christmas, Christmas Eve. Most of the time, you're doing a lot of things for a lot of people, and
That's
so
true.
and you're being there for a lot of people, relatives, travel, children, gifts, all of those things. So that
Yes.
cuts into the time. So now with this unexpected rest, with this unexpected day being off, we've
Yes.
also got some unexpected rest and some unexpected welcome rest. And I mean,
Yes.
welcome rest. I didn't think we were going to get that much snow. I didn't think we were going to be out this long, but then I didn't think the storm was going to have this impact and the
That's
cold was
true.
going to have this
That's true.
impact. And I really so I think that that's what it's done. That's what
But
it's
you
done.
know
I thought
what?
we were going, uh,
I want to say I am so glad I took heed to two great people who told me it's gonna snow. You better go get some food. Make sure you have your little consumable goods, meaning your soap powder, because I had to do a lot of washing of clothes washing, but also toilet paper. I'm just so glad that I took heed because I was like, oh, it's not going to snow. And it was like, oh, it is going to snow. And
mhm.
I had the opportunity to talk to my assistant today. She texted me saying school was closed yesterday. School was closed tomorrow. So I called her And I said, girl, stop playing. So she laughed, and I normally don't call women girl, but I was so excited. I said, please forgive me. I said, I don't mean to call you girl, but girl, stop playing. She was like, I know. She said, we need this. So we were scheduled to do 3 IEP meetings on tomorrow, so we don't have to do the 3 IEP meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we were supposed to take the children on a trip today. That didn't happen. The trip was to the aquarium, and we were scheduled to do that from 9 to 4, even though our schedule was 7 to 2. So we were just thanking God for rest. But also she shared with me that her daughter is here. Her daughter is here from Los Angeles. So her daughter will be returning back on Sunday. But her daughter knows people who have been affected by the wildfires.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we've needed this rest all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
We've
So
needed
she
this rest.
said, yeah, so she told her daughter, no, you're not going back. Not right now. So it's just a blessing. It's the little things that we take for granted sometimes that we need not to. And that's just the moment of rest, blessed rest. Don't take that for granted. Or just time, your me time. You deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning now that everybody doesn't deserve your time. Your time is precious. It's a precious commodity. And then sometimes when you give your time, people don't appreciate it. So
Yeah.
why give it away? So it's just a lot of good things that I've learned this week. As I'm preparing for a couple celebrations, we have a queen flying in from Nigeria, but she's has dual residency. And I shared that with you. Also, prayerfully, if the snow doesn't come our way, then we can celebrate with the great leaders in Baltimore. So there are just a variety of celebrations that we are coordinating. Do you remember when we used to coordinate those not graduations, but those celebrations through Kevin Cares Foundation?
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will be talking to you to see how I can get you to host a few. But It's amazing how God will have us to go back to some of the things that brought us that intrinsic joy. Joy is, I'm going to say for me, joy is that internal. For me, it's very fulfilling. So as I would coordinate these award ceremonies down through the years, it would just inspire me and keep me encouraged. So it's amazing that God would have me to return back to some of the things that was very fulfilling. Yeah.
And that's also what happened in the midst of rest.
Yes.
And I think God is going to have us going to get some stuff, go back and get some stuff that is going to resurrect some stuff that we thought was dead. And some things are not dead; they're just dormant. And when something is dormant, that means there's another purpose for it. So that purpose is going to shift. And I'm finding that also. I'm looking at some people have been requesting some things all of a sudden. As a matter of fact, you saying that brought back the remembrance of a call I got to make to somebody that wanted me to do get on the Zoom. Actually, for their organization, get on the Zoom for health and wellness, to do a Zoom on the health and wellness. I got to call them back and for some things to do that I hadn't done in a couple of years. And you were so excited. And the thing about it is, we were so excited when we were doing those events, and then they went dormant. And I kind of thought, does that mean it's a shame there was so much fun for them to be over? But I also believe that now when we do them, we have so much wisdom and knowledge and experience we've gained since they went dormant, that when we bring them back to life this time, we think we had a good time the other time. You think they were good before. You think we were good in them before. You think we had a good time before. We're bringing so much to the table now as a result, because we're bringing all the other experiences that we've had while they've been dormant. We're bringing that with us too. And that's
Yes.
exciting. And that's exciting.
It is.
And
It
that's
is.
where the inspiration is going to come to continue to live on in 2025 in spite of the opposition and the
Amen.
opposing, and in spite of the opposing forces.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I found flyers of when we would have our special events at the malls. And I
Yep,
still
I
have
remember.
that contact. And he's waiting on us if we want
Wow.
to have special events. So I was able to retrieve his number today. I found a binder. It has hundreds of business owners, names and numbers who will come to some of the networking events. So I just believe that this is the season of restoration. God is
Yeah.
restoring us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the blessing is God has been keeping us despite the A's,
Yeah.
the adversities, right? The B's, the bruises, the C's, the
bumps.
calamities, the D's, the destructions. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that God is giving us some ease in life. He's empowering us. He's giving us empowering moments that
Yep.
we can just say, it is well.
And yep, enabling,
With our
execute,
soul.
enabling, executing,
Yes. And we will
exercise.
be able to operate in excellence. Wow.
Yep,
That's amazing. So,
Yep.
this is our third day off as educators.
yep,
And
four.
we've been given another day. Tomorrow is going to be the
Yep.
4th.
Yep,
So that means we got to come on tomorrow.
yep, that's right.
Now, I wonder if there's going to be a 5th. Will there be a 5th? Will there be a
Wouldn't that be
5th?
something? Wouldn't that be something to get an extra week? Wouldn't that be something?
3
And the
weeks.
thing about it
Tell
is,
you. God, thank you.
I tell you, all I can say is, and then the thing about it is, we go back next week, we get a week, but then we get another break the following Monday.
Won't he do it? Hey, hey. You got to do your dance, hot sauce. Hey, big brother, come on. Hey, hey. Educators, hey, hey. Let me turn the music up. We are enjoying this. Hey, hey. We are blessed.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
If you're in the land of the living, you are blessed.
Mm-hmm.
If you've survived some storms, you are blessed.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
If you've experienced some deaths, you are blessed.
Yep.
I
Yep.
often say that God is greater than grief. Grief is real, but God is too.
Yep. That's
And
right.
God knows how to carry you through.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Well, I have my dinner over here to the left, and
Okay.
I've been contemplating, should I take a bite? And I said, no, that's rude, because I don't have enough to share with everybody.
Yep. That's right.
So on that note, I think I'm going to let us go. What you think?
All right.
What you think? Are there any last words you would like to share?
Other than just say, just be encouraged. Just be encouraged, you all.
Be
And,
encouraged.
We hope to see you on tomorrow. Accept your rest. Take your rest. Enjoy your rest.
Yes.
And we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, see ya. All right, hot sauce.
All right.
I'm gonna eat my food. I'm gonna eat my food.
I'm gonna go cook some. I'll see you there.
All right, see you.
All right, sis.